Every vaccine that the FDA and CDC recommends has been thoroughly tested and found to be effective and safe. In the United States, 3 types of COVID-19 vaccines are currently approved for use: Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson. One or more of the vaccines will be available at various locations and providers. At the moment, children and teenagers aged 5 and up are only eligible for the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. COVID-19 vaccines are not available to children under the age of 5. At least not yet. At your vaccination site, you'll be given a card or fact sheet to help you understand the details. Your card will tell you what type of vaccine you're getting and when you should get a second dose, if necessary. The highly transmissible Delta variant is driving an increase in COVID-19 cases in the United States, primarily among the unvaccinated. But the good news is that, as the weeks pass, more reports about the effectiveness of currently available vaccines and the potential of those still in development have emerged. So, what is the difference between them? As we dive in, kindly subscribe to our channel for more content. In no particular order. Number 1, Pfizer. In August 2021, Pfizer-BioNTech was the first COVID-19 vaccine to receive full Food and Drug Administration (FDA) approval for people aged 16 and up. It was also the first COVID-19 vaccine to receive FDA Emergency Use Authorization (EUA) in December 2020. Following the company's report that its vaccine was highly effective at preventing symptomatic disease. This is a messenger RNA, also known as mRNA vaccine, that employs cutting-edge technology. It must be stored at freezer temperatures, making it more difficult to distribute than other vaccines. Status: it is approved for ages 16 and up in the United States, with EUA for ages 5 to 15, and for specific age groups in other countries, including the European Union. Booster doses from Pfizer are available to all adults over the age of 18, 6 months after their initial Pfizer or Moderna shot, or 2 months after their Johnson & Johnson shot. Common side effects of Pfizer. Some common side effects are chills, headache, pain, tiredness, or redness and swelling at the injection area, which usually goes away after a day or 2 of rest, hydration, and medications such as acetaminophen. Call your doctor if your symptoms do not resolve within 72 hours or if you have respiratory symptoms such as coughing or shortness of breath. On rare occasions, the mRNA vaccine has been shown to cause anaphylaxis, a severe reaction that can be treated with epinephrine, the drug contained in EpiPens. As a result, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC) requires vaccination sites to monitor everyone for 15 minutes after receiving their COVID-19 shot, and 30 minutes if they have a history of severe allergies. So, how well does Pfizer work? Unlike vaccines, which deliver weakened or inactivated disease germs into the body, the Pfizer mRNA vaccine delivers a tiny piece of genetic code from the SARS-CoV-2 virus to host cells in the body, essentially giving those cells instructions, or blueprints, for replicating spike proteins. The spikes are responsible for penetrating and infecting host cells. These proteins elicit an immune response, resulting in the production of antibodies and the development of memory cells that will recognize and respond if the body becomes infected with the actual virus. How well does it work? Experts are still learning about Pfizer's efficacy, both in the lab and in the real world. Pfizer's initial Phase 3 clinical data, presented in December, showed that its vaccine had a 95% efficacy rate. In April, the company announced that the vaccine had 91.3% efficacy against COVID-19, based on how well it prevented symptomatic COVID-19 infection, 7 days after the second dose and up to 6 months later. It was also found to be 100% effective in preventing severe disease, as according to the CDC, and 95.3% effective in preventing severe disease, as outlined by the FDA also. Number 2, Moderna. Moderna's vaccine was approved for emergency use in the United States in December 2020, roughly a week after Pfizer's vaccine. Moderna employs the same mRNA technology as Pfizer and has similarly high efficacy in symptomatic disease prevention. It must also be stored at freezing temperatures. The FDA approved a third dose of the Moderna vaccine for certain immunocompromised individuals, including solid organ transplant recipients and those with conditions that reduce their ability to fight infections and other diseases. It's recommended for adults 18 and older. While the vaccine is not yet available for children, the company claims that it provides effective protection for children as young as 12 years old. The Moderna dosage is 2 shots, 28 days apart, with full effect 2 weeks after the second dose. Similar to Pfizer, some common side effects include chills, headache, pain, tiredness, or redness and swelling at the injection site, all of which usually resolve within a day or two. So, how does Moderna work? This is an mRNA vaccine, similar to the Pfizer vaccine, sends instructions to the body cells to make a spike protein that will train the immune system to recognize it. So, when the immune system sees a spike protein, it will attack it. How well does it work? Moderna's initial Phase 3 clinical data in December 2020 was similar to Pfizer's. Both vaccines showed approximately 95% efficacy at that time. This number has shifted over time. According to the company, 6 months after vaccination, the Moderna vaccine had an efficacy of 90% against infection and more than 95% against developing a severe case. Furthermore, while both Pfizer and Moderna are still considered highly effective, several recent studies have shown that Moderna is more protective. If you like this video, kindly give us a thumbs up and share it with family and friends. And let us know in the comment section which vaccine is your favorite so far, or what vaccine you would be getting. The FDA placed a label on both Pfizer and Moderna vaccines with a warning about a likely association with reported cases of heart inflammation in young adults. This inflammation, which can occur in the heart muscle or the outer lining of the heart, is significant but rare, occurring in approximately 12.6 cases per million second doses administered. In most cases, the inflammation resolves on its own without the need for treatment. Number 3, Johnson & Johnson. In February, the FDA granted EUA for Johnson & Johnson's vaccine, 70 days after Pfizer and Moderna. This is a carrier, or virus vector vaccine, as opposed to mRNA vaccines. It can be stored at normal refrigerator temperatures and is easier to distribute and administer because it only requires a single shot. It has been approved for emergency use in the US, as well as for a booster for all adults 18 and older to be given at least 2 months after the first shot. It is recommended for adults 18 and older. While the vaccine is not yet available for children, the company also says its vaccine provides strong protection for children as young as 12. Its dosage is a single shot. Fully effective 2 weeks after vaccination. Some common side effects include fatigue, fever, headache, injection site pain, or myalgia. Pain in a muscle or group of muscles are all common symptoms that usually go away within a day or two. According to the FDA, it has significantly fewer side effects than the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines. And no one experienced an allergic reaction during the vaccine's clinical trials. However, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine now comes with 2 warnings from the FDA. The FDA issued a warning in July after reports of rare cases of the neurological disorder Guillain-Barré syndrome in a small number of vaccination recipients. The majority of cases occurred within 42 days of vaccination. The FDA then added another warning label to a vaccine saying out of an abundance of caution, due to an uncommon, but potentially serious, blood clotting disorder that occurred in a small number of recipients. So, how well does it work? According to FDA analyses, there is 72% overall effectiveness and 86% efficacy against moderate and severe disease in the United States. J&J reported in an early October press release that showed clinical trial data that a booster shot given about 2 months after the first shot increased protection against moderate to severe disease in the United States to 94%. There are 2 other vaccines that are not yet available in the US, and they are Oxford AstraZeneca and Novavax. Number 4, Oxford AstraZeneca. This vaccine, which is currently being distributed in the UK and other countries, differs from some of its competitors in that it is less expensive to produce per dose, and unlike some of the other vaccines, it can be stored in normal refrigeration for at least 6 months, making it easier to distribute. It is recommended for adults 18 and older. Its dosage is 2 shots, 4 to 12 weeks apart. Oxford AstraZeneca is currently researching the effectiveness of a booster shot. Some common side effect includes tenderness, pain, warmth, redness, itching, swelling or bruising at the injection area, all of which generally resolve within a day or two. So how does it work? This is a carrier vaccine, similar to the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Scientists create a harmless adenovirus as a shell to deliver genetic code to cells via spike proteins. Once the code is inside the cells produce a spike protein to train the immune system, which produces antibodies and memory cells to protect against an actual SARS-CoV-2 infection. How well does AstraZeneca work? Earlier this year, AstraZeneca released an updated data analysis from its phase 3 trials, revealing that its vaccine was 76% effective at reducing the risk of symptomatic disease 15 days or more after receiving the 2 doses, and 100% effective against severe disease. According to the company, the vaccine was also found to be 85% effective in preventing COVID-19 in people over the age of 65. Number 5. Novavax. Clinical trials have shown that this vaccine is highly effective. Novavax is a protein adjuvant vaccine. It is easier to make than some of the other vaccines and can be stored in a refrigerator, making distribution easier. Novavax has tested its vaccine in combination with the influenza vaccine and found it to be effective. As stated earlier, this vaccine is not available in the US. Recommended for, the vaccine is being studied in people ages 12 to 84. Its dosage is 2 doses, 3 weeks apart. And some common side effects are injection site tenderness, fatigue, headache, muscle pain. So how does this vaccine work? Unlike the mRNA and vector vaccines, this is a protein adjuvant. An adjuvant is an ingredient used to strengthen the immune response. While other vaccines trick the body's cells into creating parts of the virus that can trigger the immune system, the Novavax vaccine takes a different approach. It contains the spike protein of the coronavirus itself but is formulated as a nanoparticle, which cannot cause disease. When the vaccine is injected, this stimulates the immune system to produce antibodies and T-cell immune responses. How well does it work compared to the other vaccines? In a company statement released in June, phase 3 trial results showed that the drug was 90% effective against lab-confirmed, symptomatic infection and 100% effective against moderate and severe disease. According to the company, the vaccine is 91% protective of people in high-risk populations, such as those over the age of 65, those with health conditions that increase the risk of complication, and those who are frequently exposed to the virus. Scientific teams from all over the world have created effective COVID-19 vaccines in record time. Vaccines to protect against the new disease have been developed, a feat that would have seemed impossible even a few years ago. Despite the fact that each vaccine is unique, they all provide excellent protection against severe disease. So to answer your question, what COVID-19 vaccine is the best? The answer is that they all work and are incredibly effective. So, choosing one at this point is probably a personal choice. US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. For more information, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like, share, and turn on your notifications for more content.